Hey there, this is Katherine Cartwright. Welcome. I've got a fun video today. I'm using an Autoship product from Diamond Press. This is a mixed media. Thinking of You said it just came from HSN not too long ago, and is part of their mixed media collection from Diamond Press that came through HSN. So I'm just going to do a quick little kind of unboxing to show you what came in this first Autoship, and then I'm going to make some cards with it. I'm going to use some of the tacky paste and the texture paste that's included. So you get a stamp set, you get these little small stencils, which are fun. So these are stencil materials, so nice and thick. Diamond Press has a nice quality stencil set product that I've used over the years, which I like a lot. And then there's some large stencils as well. There are 3 large stencils. And then there are also these cute screen print kind of patterns, I guess you would call them. I haven't really dipped my toe into the screen printing yet. That's kind of on my to-do list when time allows, but it's definitely something that I want to do. So I'm just kind of showing you these patterns. It's got some birds and nature theme, sort of, and a few little sentiments. I'm so sorry, and that cute little leaf, several leaves there. So very, very cute. And then here are those larger stencils that I mentioned. I'm going to use these in the video. I'm going to, like I say, pull out that tacky paste, which I'm going to use foil with, and then create some cards. So these are the 3 patterns. There's like a daisy, a mandala, and then I can't remember what the other one was called, maybe nature. There also is some acrylic ink in this one, 3 colors. There's some glitter paste, which was included in the first kit, the original kit, the Today Special. This is that screen print ink. It's really, really pretty. It's there's a green and then a navy as well. And then here are the texture paste and the tacky paste. There is the foil as well. So I'm going to dig into some of these. That's the tacky paste there. Which is a glue that will allow you to do some foiling. I have another video that I did with the tacky paste as well when I first received this kit. So I'll link that in the description. But let's go ahead and start with the texture paste. A couple of housekeeping notes. I'm using Bristol Smooth cardstock. I've got this on my silicone mat because these products are mixed media and they stick. And so I tend to use them on something like this that I can easily wipe off and clean up. You want to put your stencils into water, warm water, as soon as you can, or go ahead and wash them off. I'm going to wash mine off. But you can have like a pan of soapy water, and that will keep all of these products from setting up on your stencil. So you can use them again with your, inks or whatever else. But that way you've got a clean stencil. All right, so the the texture paste has dried, and so I am going to do some ink blending with it. I've got some of my Distress inks here, probably have Squeeze Lemonade and Fossilized Amber, and then I think I've got Mowed Lawn, which I love. That's one of my favorite greens. So you can see that the daisies are just going to start popping right off the page. I've got my ink blending tool here, and then I'm just going to start with that first color, the Fossilized Amber, and then I'll come back around with the Squeezed Lemonade. So pretty. I love to use texture paste in this application. So this and texture paste, there are different kinds of them. There's some that have a different finish, some that will be like a matte finish, and then they'll have a shiny one, or there's one that maybe absorbs the ink more. This one is really more of a resisting the ink. You can see that you can still see that white coming through a little bit, and in a second I'm going to rub off some of that ink. So this texture paste is beautiful, and it will allow me to kind of resist that ink. So I'm just going around with the green. I'm kind of masking off with a little bit of paper, trying to keep a couple of things from blending together. Not too worried about it. And then I'm going to pull out some colors. I've got spun, I think I ended up using spun sugar on this. And then there was the other one, Tattered Rose. And so I'm trying to decide which one that I want to use here. So I'm going to go with spun sugar, and I'm going to blend that in there. You can see those little dots kind of popping off the page. Texture paste is really fun because it adds obviously some texture like it says in the name, but you can also tint it. You could add some re-inkers or another kind of medium to it to give it a different color before you apply it to the paper. So there's a lot of fun to be had with texture paste. So I'm going to take a second here after I've finished my ink blending, and I'm going to move my paper around, and you can see those white flowers really popping off the page now. And I am moving the kind of crumpling up my paper towel and moving it around. I don't want to spread the ink somewhere that I don't want it. So I'm just picking a clean spot on my napkin here and then moving around. But look how pretty that is, and it's so easy. So you could do a bunch of these at once. You can just create panel after panel with your stencil and then have a great time. All right, I'm going to spend a second here with glitter paste. I've got, again, some of that Bristol Smooth cardstock. I'm just doing a very, very quick and easy blend here with Salty Ocean of Distress. I'm just covering most of my sheet here, my cardstock, with that color. And then I want to take a second here and do some stenciling. I've got that Sending Smiles sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and ink blend that onto my cardstock. And I was going to stamp something on there, but if I'm to be honest, which I usually am a pretty honest person, I've misplaced the stamp set between the time that I started this video and the time that I'm actually putting it together, finishing it up. The stamp set has gone missing in my craft stash because it's been several weeks and I've had some other projects. It will turn back up, but I was going to put Sending Smiles Your Way. So if you have the stamp set at home, you could do that if you were to recreate this project. All right, so I have finished stenciling that on there. I have masked off the sentiment because I want to do some stenciling with some glitter paste. Now I'm going to use a different color. This is gold. I did get that rose kind of quartz color in my set, but I decided that I wanted to use the gold instead. I think this gold came in the original set or else I purchased it. I don't recall at this point, but it's the same product as just a different color of the glitter paste. I just wanted to kind of show you what that looked like. So I have masked this off and I'm going to wipe this down and get that top back on there so my paste will stay nice and moist, and it is so beautiful with the daisy flowers on the top. So pretty. So I'm going to, at the end of the video, stick around, I'm going to show you all these completed cards. All right, tacky paste and foil. I can foil all day, every day. That is probably, besides heat embossing, that is my favorite technique right now. I love to foil everything that I can. So I've got the same cardstock, Bristol Smooth. I've got the tacky paste here. I'm going to work this through my stencil, taking care not to smush so much. You can see that this is, it's not a super thick medium. So if you push too hard, you will smush underneath your stencil. So I love this Nuvo spatula. I use it a lot. There are two different sizes in the kit. That I've had for a couple of years now. I would say I've been using this pretty faithfully, and it's been a strong performer in my craft room, so I highly recommend it. It's the silicone head, and everything just really wipes off and cleans up nicely off of it. And so you can see that I have gotten this dry. It's been a while, at least an hour. Now Diamond Press has a few ways in the instructions of how you can do the foil. I'm just trying to get the little roll open here. That's what the delay is. And it's I've got my air conditioning on because it's very hot where I am, so it's kind of blowing right on top of my craft area. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this piece on top. So you add the color of the foil should be on the top, and the silver part is on the sticky part, on the texture paste image. And it recommends you can just use a bone folder. I have not had a lot of success doing that. You can run it through your marquee machine. I had a little bit better success with that. I did not add a shim in this first little run through, and I'm just showing you all of the steps. You can see it's got pretty good adhesion, but it missed a good bit of that corner, so I'm going to add a shim in there. So just a piece of cardstock. It's probably a decent size of weight, maybe 100 pounds, so a nice thick cardstock there, but I think any kind of additional paper would help. So I get a little bit better result here. It's not perfect, and then a little bit kind of smudged off there, so I'm kind of brushing that off. And so I'm going to hold on to that panel and I'm going to revisit it. But I just personally have had better success using a laminator. So I've just got a laminator here. I let it heat up traditionally for about 10 minutes at the 5 mil setting. That is what my laminator has. It has 3 mils and 5 mils. I always usually go to the thicker one. So I've got another panel. I went ahead off camera and made a couple of extra. When I use tacky paste or something like this, I usually make quite a few. And that way I have multiples to play with. Because like I say, I like to spend a lot of time doing this. And so it's a fun way to spend the afternoon of getting these panels prepared. So go ahead and make more than one in case, you got some mistakes on one or you don't like the way it looks. And here is the result on this finished. And I do keep in my videos where you can see it run through that machine because I want you to see the process of how this product works. So that's pretty good. On the left is the one that I ran through in my marquee machine. And so it's just not quite where I want it to be. So I'm going to take another piece of the foil and I'm going to run that through my machine again and just see if I get a little bit better coverage, and it will end up that I do. So, and again with tacky paste, you can see it's not completely perfect on the right hand side because I'm not perfect and I didn't get every little inch covered. If you're particular about that, just be more careful and make sure that you get the coverage. So I definitely like the way that second panel turned out. All right, so I've got a bunch of decofoil brand foil. I have had this for years. If you've seen any of my videos where I'm foiling, it is going to be decofoil for the most part. And so I've got another panel here that I created that I'm going to run through my machine, and we'll see how this one turns out. This is the one I think that's called mandala in the pattern. I should have written that down. I'll try and type them up in the description. Okay, so this one is ready, and let's see how this one performed with that decofoil. You may have some decofoil in your craft stash as well. And it is beautiful. The only thing I noticed about the tacky paste is, it kind of sticks a little bit on the side. It's a little hard to explain until you're actually using it. I've used some other products that are similar to this tacky paste, and this is a strong performer. It works very well, and I think particularly with the decofoil it worked really, really well. So, and I bet if you've ever done foiling, you probably have a few rolls in your craft stash. So if you receive this auto ship and you're working with it and you need some more foil, check your craft stash because the decofoil is what I'm using, and like I say, it's worked very well. So here's that third stencil pattern. It's some kind of nature stencil or something like that, and so I'm using a piece of this turquoise here to run this through my machine. And this is the last one that I'll show you, and then I'll show you the finished cards. They're so pretty, but again, this one did very well, and I got some really good coverage. I missed one little section, teeny tiny section right there, I'm just pointing out. But overall, I thought it looked pretty good. So I'm very, very happy with that. So that is all of the texture paste and the foiling and how to use it. So here are some of these finished cards. I've just added some stamps and dies. I had that, the one that was the nature one with that blue just looked like waves to me. So I used an old mermaid set from Diamond Press. dug out some other dies, like the Merry Christmas is from a diamond press set that had some large sentiments in it. I just thought that was so pretty. And here's that Sending Smiles, the glitter paste. When it dries is so beautiful. And then here is that daisy card with the texture paste. So leave me questions if you have any concerns or things that you're not sure about. I know it's a lot to cover in a video. I try to keep them not too long, but there's a lot of information there. So if you have any questions about this, leave me a comment. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Have a great day.